European football is back at Villa Park for a third consecutive season. It's Villa's first time playing in the Europa League, with Italian side Bologna making their second trip to Villa Park in as many seasons. And Unai Emery will be hoping he can add to his formidable record in the competition as he looks to add to his collection of 4 Europa League wins. A European night here, always extra special. Welcome to Villa Park and welcome to Matchday Live.
Brilliant, brilliant.
Crossing, and there it goes on the last, and it's John McGinn! The captain comes to the rescue! Goal to free header, it's Ollie Watkins! And Villa lead through Ollie Watkins! It's lovely to the row, it's 1-0, and it's Ollie Watkins! Totally, utterly, and completely on mark, and he makes them pay! And he celebrates in front of the whole tent as Villa take the lead again in the Champions League. Aston Villa 1, Bologna 0. John McGinn with a free kick. John Gerrard! Charge now. Rashford trying to stay outside. McGinn might go for a goal! John McGinn into the corner in play.
Hello and welcome to Villa Park. Welcome to Matchday Live for another special European night we hope to have in store. Alongside me tonight we have Alan McInally, Andy Townsend and Ahmed El Mohammadi. Guys, welcome along. We're just dodging the sprinklers at the moment. I think we're just about safe here, Alan. Look, another European night at Villa Park. They're always special. How are you feeling ahead of this one?
Well, maybe not as confident possibly as we might have had a better start to the season. I can feel it coming. I can feel it coming. Everybody out of here. Everybody out of here. I'll keep talking. I'll keep talking. Naturally, it's not been the best start of the season. My goodness me. Hello, everybody.
Just give you a shower to start off, Alan.
We're on live. We're on live. We're
just giving you a shower to start off with, Alan.
We're back. Yeah. Sorry, everybody.
Was that a little run across the near post?
Looking across the defender.
Yeah.
And just
got there.
And just a touch.
Just rolling back the years.
Well, listen. We were very, very lucky last year. Some of the nights here were unbelievable. They really were. They were terrific. And this shouldn't be any different, really. I know it's not the Champions League. We've qualified for Europa League, so you take it on the chin and we say, OK, we're in a position where we've got an opportunity. We're one of the favourites in the competition. We have a manager who has a track record in the competition, and there's no reason why, you know, this place shouldn't be bouncing, giving the boys as much encouragement as they possibly can to make sure we start the campaign with a result.
Elmo, how much of a boost does that get Villa tonight, knowing that he's just such a specialist in this competition?
Of course, yeah, you got a manager who holds the records, like Alan said. You know, it's very exciting for everyone involved with the club. You know, the supporters. I'm actually excited about tonight. You know, it's a first game of the competition at Villa Park. Like we played very well in the last European competition, the Champions League, especially here at Villa Park. We make it very difficult for all big teams, you know, the likes of Bayern Munich coming here, find it difficult, PSG, Celtic, Juventus, all the big teams coming here. So we have to make it the same again in this competition, especially with our favour in this competition. You know, everyone, all the teams in this competition knows Aston Villa favour because of the manager, of course, and because of the history of the club. So we have to start well. In any competition you play, you have to start well, and we have to make sure today 3 points is ours.
Andy, what do you make of the draw? Some interesting ties coming up.
Some interesting ties coming up. Again, I think I agree with the guys that Villa should be up there amongst the favourites to go really deep in the competition. I think we have the personnel here, as the guys have quite rightly said, the coach who really knows what he's doing, and so there's no reason why the guys shouldn't feel really confident about making it happen.
Do you think this is a good distraction for us tonight, And? I know. We'll make the thing broader here. And I'm sorry to interrupt, Michelle, but the start to the season hasn't been very well in the Premier League. Maybe this is just a little sidestep for us to try and get things back on track.
I think so. I think when you're still waiting for that first win, confidence is a little bit is always down a little bit, and you just start to fret over it a wee bit too much. I'm hoping tonight that they get the right result, which is most important for the competition, but also just to fill the confidence levels back up again.
Well, do you feel it's an opportunity then, Adam?
I do.
When you look at the opposition and the sort of calibre of the opposition, we beat them 2-0 here last season, but you know, we're a year on from then.
And I saw Bologna 2 or 3 times last season, once against Juventus when they were very unlucky not to win the game towards the end of the season after they had played us, and then they went on obviously to get into this competition. They beat Milan in the Coppa Italia, so they are capable. But I genuinely think this is an opportunity for us, because we have been carrying a little weight on our shoulders, especially after obviously the game against Sunderland against 10 men, and we didn't manage to get the 3 points, to see it out. Sorry, Andy. Yeah, exactly. So this might be, and obviously Bologna coming here with a bit of luck, this place absolutely bouncing, will know how difficult it is. We have to start the game well. The manager's already spoken about the energy levels. We need to make sure we put them in the place early and always make it so the point of they don't have anything to think, hey, we could actually turn them over here. We need to make sure we start really properly tonight.
Yeah, naturally, we've been enjoying some great times as Villa fans over the last few seasons, Elmo. But Unai wanted to get Villa back in Europe, and he's done that regularly, hasn't he?
Of course, yeah, he's an experienced manager, you know, not just in England, but in Europe. He won this competition so many times with different clubs. So the experience he got, you know, he's going to pass it to the players. The players got a lot of experience playing in the Champions League last season, you know, especially against big boys as well. Coming here, we played Bologna here in the Champions League last year, and they know that it's a very difficult place to come to. But they changed a lot of players since then. The manager knows we have a slow start to the season, so the confidence will be a little bit down. But it's like I said, it's a new competition, and you have to start well. And I'm telling you, this place will be bouncing tonight. Villa fans love European nights, especially under the lights here at Villa Park. So everyone is excited about, you know, a very good start to this competition, especially when you are expected to win it as well. It's putting a little bit pressure of the manager and the players, but in the same time, you should be excited about that and enjoy every moment in this competition.
Yeah, Andy, you know what it's like to play on a European night, Inter Milan, that famous night. You got a penalty in the penalty shootout. What's your memories of those evenings?
I remember that. I mean, that was a great tie to be involved in. Obviously, drawing the first one in the San Siro, and then going the distance here. Beg your pardon, we lost the first one in the San Siro one, and we obviously Ray Houghton scored on the night, and then we went to penalties.
Great Barnett.
And yes, I was going to say, yeah, look at that, my goodness. Do you know, that was dyeing my hair for the World Cup. It took about 3 years before it had gone.
Got penalty there, you know.
Honestly.
Got height.
And then
has no chance.
And there's the winner. I mean, what a moment.
Kingy, you know, pinging that one straight down the middle was amazing. Big Ron absolutely adored that night. He loved it. He loved the challenge of Inter Milan, met it head on, and again, as Elmo just said, the atmosphere that night was pretty special. It just seems to just go up a notch for those sort of occasions, and let's hope tonight again it's loud and it really picks the boys up.
Yeah, funny enough, the goalkeeper for Inter that night also went on to play over 250 matches for tonight's opponents. Gianluca Pagliuca.
Yeah,
he's a Villa fan. He's got a Villa tattoo.
I did hear that, and funny enough, I was covering a game in London, and an Italian journalist said, I'm a big friend of Gianluca Pagliuca, and I said, oh right, nice, lovely. And he said, actually, I've got him on my phone, and he had him on, and so I had a little brief chat with him. I did indeed, because the last time I saw him, he was pushing me. Yeah, for some reason he was trying to push me down the tunnel. Something got said.
He's got a picture of you on his car.
Yeah, exactly. but no, so it was nice to have a word with him for sure.
And when you're playing in those midweek games, how much did it help in the league? Did it help in the league, do you feel?
Do you know, I really can't remember. Michelle, I off the top of my head, I really can't remember. Don't do you any harm, does it? Never does you any harm. As Alan said, you know, sometimes when it's been a little bit, when it's just been a little bit below the standards you normally set in the league, when you get a chance like this tonight to register a win, to give everybody...
Get some goals.
Get some goals, just get everybody clicking. And it's amazing, if you get that done tonight, how everybody then will get revved up for the weekend, you know, just that little bit more.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well, after this break, we're going to have a little recap of what happened here last season against We'll see you after this break.
There are so many words, man. If I had to choose one, I'd say magic. Yeah, magic for sure.
The whole end, there's nothing like it. I think for a lot of people, football is a religion and the whole end is the church.
This is Villa. The fans expect us to win, and the whole end's the driving force behind that.
It represents the centre of the club.
The whole stadium depends on what happens in the Holte.
It's the noise and vocal support of the club.
It's like a heart pumping blood to its body.
When you score at Villa Park, it's always special, but scoring there's even more special as a Villa player.
Everything in your life you forget about. You feel every kick, you feel every shot, you feel every tackle.
We always end up kicking off, with the whole end behind us. As a centre-back, I can hear the support, hear the crowd, and, really gets us going.
You finish the game, you're tired, you've been part of it, you're the 12th man, it's family, everyone here is family.
That old cowpoke went riding out one dark and windy day. Up on a ridge he rested as he went along his way. When all at once a mighty herd of red-eyed cows he saw, a-plowing through the ragged skies and up a cloudy draw. Yippee-yi-yi. Their faces gaunt, their eyes were blurred, and shirts all soaked with sweat. They're riding hard through kits that hurt, but they ain't caught them yet. 'Cause they got to ride forever on that range up in the sky. All horses snorting fire.
Go higher, wee John.
As they ride on, hear their cry. Yippee-yi-yi. Riders in the sky.
Hola.
The ghost riders in the sky.
Villains, we wanted to tell you about some updates to our club memberships. There are 5 types of membership on offer, all with some new benefits. First is an adult membership. With this, you get full access to Villa TV content, including all pre-season matches, 100 points towards your position on the season ticket waiting list, continued priority access to home match tickets, and much more. Up next is our women's team membership, which now offers light access to Villa TV, so you can follow all our women's team content, access to exclusive women's team events, and discounts on match tickets to watch the women's team. Next, our video memberships give you the option of full or light access to Villa TV content, as well as full or light access to exclusive club events. And finally, our junior membership options offer light access to Villa TV, continued priority access to home match tickets, an exclusive welcome pack, and discounts on match tickets to watch the women's team. Meanwhile, our 0-2 membership remains unchanged. These memberships are the best way for fans to get even closer to the action. Stay tuned for more and up the Villa!
Welcome back to Matchday Live. Now, Bologna are the visitors tonight, and Villa will be hoping for another result like the last time the two played each other here at Villa Park.
Winners of 82 back after more than 40 seasons. Bologna back after almost 60 years.
The new era of European football begins.
Yes, last season goals from John McGinn and John Duran made for a special night at Villa Park. Look, I know it's a year ago, Elmo, but how much do we learn from that night ahead of this evening?
Yeah, they got experience. The players now played in the Conference League, Champions League, now the Europa League. So they got a lot of experience playing in the European night, especially here at Villa Park with the atmosphere around, So for them, and as well the manager, he's very experienced, especially at this competition. I'm going to pass it to them. And of course, a few faces changed, from last year. Duran left, Diego Carlos was playing in that game. So a few players changed it now. So for the new players coming in and now knows how they feel here at Villa Park, especially in the European nights, it's going to be a good experience for them. But like, Bologna is a very Italian style, defensive mind, play on the counter attack. They're very good in the set pieces, so it's not going to be easy for us. They're a very organized team, so we have to start well this game, and use our fullbacks and our wingers very well today, especially with the set pieces. We scored from set pieces last season against them. We are very, very good, especially in set pieces going forward, so we have to use it very well tonight.
I think because we've had a bit of a slow start in the league, they will absolutely, almost right, they'll get plenty back behind the ball. Yeah. They'll sit there and they'll be happy to sit there and sit there and sit there and ask the question, what have the Villa boys got to try and break it down? And just try and frustrate everybody in the ground, particularly first 15, 20 minutes. I can't see anything other than that at the moment. I can see Villa having most of the ball, and they've got to try and find a way to pull them about, get here, get to the byline, clip things back, get bodies in that box and try and make it happen.
How hard is it to switch between playing the Premier League and European nights? Because the styles can sometimes differ, can't they, Adam? Yeah,
I think I can only speak for myself when you play domestic games and then you've got big European games coming up. If I was a player in the dressing room right now, I'd be bursting for this game to start. I'd be absolutely bursting to prove a few people wrong, get out of this, not this rut, but this little bump in the road that we seem to have, and be talking to my teammates about energy. And we've just showed a montage there the last time we played with 2 headers, 3 shots, and then John McGinn's goal. That's what we need tonight. We need shot. And if Andy's right and they do sit in for 20 minutes and frustrate the life out of everybody, then I'd be like, well, let's have shots from the edge of the box. Let's put the goalkeeper under thing. And if Elmo's right about the fullbacks being in places rather and not turning back in, but getting the box and just getting into putting balls into the box, make them defend. What defenders don't want to do is face their own goalkeeper. So if you're putting balls in the box, they need to do the right thing, is defend as well as they can. And we need to be a team on the front foot tonight. Genuinely, I do, regardless of how they play.
How hard is that though? If they're going to sit back, which Andy thinks they might. Yeah. What is it? Is it ball tempo? Is it movement?
I think everything. By the way, there's not many games that you don't need to be ball tempo. Yeah. When he was in the middle of the park, he'd take a touch and give it to get it back to go there really quickly. The quicker you move the ball, the less chance they've got to organise themselves. And if we get the ball in areas and crossing the box, then if I'm speaking to, if I'm Matty Cash or Dina or Matson or whomever, if they say, if I'm 35 yards out and I've got an opportunity to cross the ball in, you get ready to get across that defender. And not only that, if it's Morgan Rogers or John McGinn or Tielemans or whomever plays tonight, he needs to know that that ball's coming into the box rather than, will he, will I not, will he? So we need to keep the tempo up tonight. But
that's a good point, Al. That is a very good point. Villa, when they're at their best, they are playing at a real tempo, a real pace. Sometimes we get a little too preoccupied with keeping it. And then all of a sudden the tempo goes out of your game a wee bit. I think to start with, yes, there will have to be times when they reset and the centre halves have got the ball and they just put their foot on it for a moment and give people a little bit of a breather. But certainly first 15 minutes, you want to see some real urgency tonight, I think.
And I know you're right, Andy. You as a midfielder as well, you will know that when you play against a team, well organized, compact, just sat behind the ball. You need to have shoots from outside the box. Yep. We scored our first goal in the Premier League from outside the box. You have to use that. You have some great players. You have to be brave. Cash is great, and John McGinn. Morgan Rogers. Oli Watkins, so they need to use that and just make advantage of that, crossing in the box as well. Just Alan said, make them defend, make them make mistakes, and just in the second or third ball, and you can score goals.
Yeah. There's something else, and the lads will know exactly what I'm talking about here. You'll be sitting in the dressing room and you'll go through the first 10 minutes of the game the way you think it might go. But the reality is that if you win your first header against whoever you're playing against, if you win your first tackle or intercept something, all of a sudden they're like, oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go, we're right in it here. And I always used to think, if I get a chance to win the first tackle, I'm winning the first tackle. I'm absolutely winning the first header, and I'm ready for as much as I can be ready for. That almost sets the tempo. But not just for myself as a player, but for my teammates to think, big man's up for it tonight, let's go. Andy's hit a shot from 30 yards just because it's the opening 5 minutes, etc., etc. That again sets the tempo. You know, he's gone down the line, he's taking somebody off, he's crossing the ball in, and all of a sudden Bologna will be like, here we go, we're going to get beat again tonight. Because remember, they've played 2 games away from home and lost 2 games away from home. So let's hope that this is the third one then.
Yeah, and I think we're expecting about 700 away fans tonight, Elmo, which is, a credible following. It's a long way to come on a Thursday evening, but the Villa fans, the home fans, have such an important part to play.
Of course, yeah, they came with a lot of fans last year as well. They make some noise, but you're at Villa Park, you're expecting. They've been here, they experienced the atmosphere last season in the Champions League, so it's going to be the same again tonight. But like the guy said, we have to start well in the first 10-15 minutes, just set the tempo. Alan was saying about winning your first tackle, your first duel, and that it's just basics in football. You have to do it right in the first minute, and then you'll find it easy.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you see this, just when you're in the tunnel, it must get you going, Alan. When you see these scenes as a player.
Well, we can't see it if we're in the tunnel, but yeah, but you're right, absolutely. Well, you're aware. Because remember, the fans start to get really noisy now, and you're aware in the tunnel of where it's almost game time, and the referee will lead you out, and it's time to go. By the way, there is no better feeling as a football player coming into something like that, knowing you're part of something really special as well. And Elmo's mentioned the fans a lot. They play a part tonight. Don't you worry about that. They will play a part, because there's no chance you ever get 90 minutes of the ball, do you? No. So they'll be spelling the game, Andy, when you're we need someone to dig in, we need somebody to do the ball, we need somebody to do the right thing and just settle things down, and that's when the fans still have to be on our side.
Correct, 100%. Those big games last year, the PSG one in particular, which was... I mean, I covered all the Champions League nights at Villa Park last season, but the PSG one was so amazing because, again, as Alan just said, they had to dig in, hang in there for a bit when they looked really strong in that first half. But then started to have a period where Villa, you just felt a goal was coming, and we want to see that tonight in a game when you're expected to win. Not always easy, as I said, if teams sit deep and bank up, but we need to see that intensity and the application that is going to make everybody in here feel, yeah, we're on top of the game. Something's going to happen. We're going to score. We're going to get in front. That's that you kind of, and you've got to really go after that. You've got to make that happen.
Okay, let's hear now from the manager Unai Emery and Ezri Konsa, who spoke to the media ahead of tonight, yesterday at Bodymoor Heath.
It's fantastic to play Europe. Fantastic. I really love to play in Europe, and I am so grateful Aston Villa club is giving me now the opportunity to play in Europe as well. Of course, we helped the club to get it, and with our experiences or with our work, but of course everything is starting because Aston Villa he's doing the effort to give us as well a lot of things necessary through the players, through our development in everything to get Europe. And we played in Conference League 2 years ago, we played in Champions League last year, this year we're playing in Europe League, and really it's fantastic. And I am telling the players, for me Europe is always a dream.
It's a competition we want to win. I think any team that's in the competition want to win it. So for us, look, we're going to take it game by game. We obviously know the boss's record in Europa League, and it takes these competitions very seriously, and so do we. So look, we are contenders, we know that. There is pressure, but as players we have to deal with pressure every week, so it's nothing new. So like I said, we'll take it game by game, and it starts from tomorrow.
To win is very difficult. Of course, it's a competition. You have to show your wishes to win, preparing, playing, the support that they have to support as well this competition, being positive and being excited. And then we are going to play against a lot of teams. They have high qualities as well, as a club, as a team, as our players. And tomorrow, Bologna, they played as they are Champions League. They are performing very well the last 3 years in Italy, in their league, and as well in Europe.
you want to play in European competitions every season. And our third season, obviously, we wanted to get Champions League. We didn't. We've got Europa League, and it's a competition that I want to win personally, and the boys do as well. So, look, it's exciting when you play in European competitions. No matter the competition, you just want to play games. It's a fresh game. Hopefully, a fresh start for everyone in the team, and it's another opportunity. We played on Sunday, and we've got another game tomorrow to make things right. So, like I said, hopefully tomorrow's 3 points and nothing but that.
A very good team. Last year they were playing Champions League with us. They played here, we won, but it was a difficult match. The same coach, a lot of same players. The style, they are more or less doing is the same. Very aggressive, man-to-man. It's a difficult team. And we are preparing the game. We are excited. We are wishing to start Europe. Wishing. Our objective in Europe as well is to be tied to get the first 8 position.
They're a good team, defensively strong. So I think for us it's just important to focus on ourselves and take it game by game.
Well, Unai's record in this competition is sensational. 4 times winner, was 3 times with Sevilla, Villarreal once, and then he lost in the final with Arsenal. He's just a specialist. What is it about this competition that makes him and it such a good match?
He's a coach that is very much into attention to detail, and I think these European ties, they're often won and lost in a split second, in just a moment. That we see it so often, that the margins for getting through in European football, particularly towards the latter stages of the competitions, are very small. And I think if you are a coach that really does focus and hone in on some of those fine detail, then that's what pays off for him. He puts everything into preparing his players 100% for these sort of games, and clearly it works. There's no doubt about it. He's got a proven way of negotiating some of these ties, and the players will always buy into that.
In difficult moments like this, what are you looking for from your manager right now, Armo? What is Unai saying to those players, and what do they need to have some confidence going into tonight's game?
They have to take it serious, I think the thing about him very successful in this competition, because he always taking it serious. He's putting his strongest team out there, and just like using his experience in that. Like you said, he won it so many times with different team. Lost it one time with Arsenal. It was against Chelsea at that time. But he said in his press conference, he's always excited about that European nights. He always, like Andy said, little details makes a massive difference in that. And then he's focusing on all these little details. That's why he's making himself special in this competition. So he's taking everything serious in this competition. Like he said in his press conference, the players must be excited. Little bit pressure on the players and the manager, and the fans knows that. Everyone knows that we are the favorite in this competition. So just enjoy that pressure. Just enjoy, go out and enjoy that pressure. Playing here at home under the lights of Villa Park, using the noise of the fans as well. So make it a special night for you and a good start in this competition as well.
Just to let you know then, the 4 changes for Villa tonight, I'll go through the team in more detail in just a second, but 4 changes we'll bring to you in just a moment, but there will be 4 changes from that Sunderland game. Alan, we'll go through the team in just a sec, but for players coming into the starting lineup, there are 4 of them this evening. This is a big opportunity, isn't it, to carry it through. Another game on Sunday, quick turns around.
Tell me the 4 changes though.
Go on, I'll give you a little sneak preview.
No, I'm only
but before I do...
Listen, by the way, forget about the 4 changes. For the 11 players that play tonight, you've got something to prove that last year we didn't get lucky, or we just had a good run, or whatever else. We need to get to that. I think Andy quite rightly said, it's very difficult as football players. Well, in fact, it's not difficult for football players. You set a standard and you get to the highest standard, and everybody here goes, well, we know you can do that because we watched you do it, and we watched you build up to doing that as a team with the manager. So if you set off those standards, somebody will point the finger at you and say, that's not right. And incidentally, I'm going to mention this, and I wasn't going to say it, but the manager said it. I have never known Unai Emery say to MD at Aston Villa, I think you've been lazy. And one of the other players agree with the manager. So that's not good enough right away. So he thinks the energy levels are not there. And I think for sure the starting 11 tonight, and I said it a couple of minutes ago, if you're sitting in the dressing room now and he's looking at me and he's looking at me, I am bouncing, ready to go. Bouncing to go, because I've got something to prove. As a striker, I need to score. As a striker, I need to set up someone, or I need to make sure I'm in the right position for somebody if I tap in. That's what I'm thinking about all the time, and with a bit of luck you're going to tell me the 4 changes. All of them are going to be...
Look at that,
and
just like magic.
Well, yeah.
Let's go through the formation and let's have a look at the Villa starting 11. Let's have a look at the start. 4 changes. As I said before, Marco Bizot coming in, as well as Pau Torres, Mullen starting as well, and Ian Maatsen. So they're the 4 changes tonight from the Sunderland game on Sunday. There you are. I've put you out of your misery now, Alan. Andy, why do you think Unai's gone for those changes?
Well, again, look, freshen it up, and as Alan said, the manager had some words after the weekend, and I'm sure what he said to the boys in the dressing room will have certainly gone in. And I think, again, he's the sort of coach that would have always had changes in mind for tonight if they'd have won up at Sunderland. Yeah. I think there would have been changes anyway. So no surprises to me that he's trying to freshen it up a little bit, give people some minutes, keep everybody involved, keep players guessing. Never a bad thing to keep players on their toes, keep moving it about, and particularly when you're having a bit of a sticky period, no one's ever quite sure that they're going to be 100% starting. So that's part of a manager's armoury that they use. Keep the players guessing, keep everybody on their toes.
Well, this is the Bologna team as well that starts tonight, and some names to look out for in this starting 11 that you might recognise. Lewis Ferguson is starting this evening, just looking at that, yes he is, and he captains the side. He's a Scottish player. Alan, what do you know about him?
He came from Scotland. By the way, incidentally, I remember going over when I've already talked about towards the end of last season going over, and they were absolutely, they love him dearly because he gives you everything he's got. He's been brilliant with the media, he's been brilliant with the fans, and he's done a really good job. And it's not just he didn't have other options. By the way, I think Bologna were lucky to get Lewis, to be quite honest with you, and he took the opportunity, not to come to England but to take the European line of it, and he's loving the place. If you've ever been to Bologna, by the way, it's absolutely fantastic, so I can understand every bit of that, but he's done really well. Yeah.
And he's captain and midfielder, could play a big part, Andy.
No, look, of course he'll have an important role to play for his team. He will be telling his teammates tonight they will be expecting Villa to come flying out the blocks. They really will tonight. I think we all expect it to, but they will, on the back of what Unai Emery said at the weekend, on the back of the way the start of the season has gone, they'll be expecting a reaction, something to happen tonight. They'll be anticipating a really fast start, and hopefully we won't disappoint them.
Go on, Emma, I was just
saying, two Scottish captains out there is going to be interesting to see. You know what I mean? So they will be kicking each other outside there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, no, you're talking about changes, I think the manager's going a little bit attacking minded today.
Is Pau Torres, I was going to say, Pau Torres, some people say that he's more attacking minded, he's more forward thinking. Is that a fair comment? Can that be why you don't make that change?
He's more good on the ball, better with the ball. He's always looking forward, to just find that pass, just breaking lines and that. So him and Maatsen on that left-hand side as well. He's very good going forward, Maatsen, he can overlap, and underlaps as well. He can score a goal. So for the manager going forward, that's why he's playing Maatsen today. And players, just point to prove, like the guy said, Mullen as well.
Yeah.
I thought he had a great pre-season, but as well, he will have his chance tonight, so he should take his chance tonight and just
he's a centre back, Elmo, that sometimes if they're going to drop off, and I think Andy's spot on, by the way, he'll get to a point just short of maybe 10-15 yards from the halfway line and look to put one in behind. His ball striking and distance-wise to get them turning in behind is really good, and I think that might be one of the reasons, well, it's not the main reason, but one of the reasons certainly that I think maybe Pau Torres is playing this evening is his distribution, but not just being a defender, but in terms of starting things for us and getting them facing their own goalkeeper might be one of the big reasons.
And as well, analysing Bologna, like we said, they're going to sit back, just be compact behind the ball, all the 10 players, So Pau Torres will have the more ball, so that's why Pau Torres, playing tonight, he will get that ball, just behind the breaking ball, just breaking lines, and that he's very good at these things.
Looking up front, Alan, Malin gets the nod.
Yeah.
Ollie's on the bench. So do you think we'll see Ollie feature at all tonight?
Yes, I absolutely do, and I'm a little surprised. I'm not the manager, so I didn't have the shout, but I would have played Ollie Watkins tonight. I think there'd been a good opportunity for him to prove.
He needs that goal.
Yeah, just to put a bit. I mean, Elmo spoke about responsibility and a little bit of pressure, and there is a little bit of pressure. He's an England international football player. He's not been getting goals for us just now, and I think tonight might have been a good opportunity. So maybe the manager, like Andy quite rightly said, has said, right, sit here, watch the game, and now Daniel Mallon has the opportunity to be the superhero. But I do think you'll see him eventually, genuinely I do. And I'm completely biased because I'm on his side, Ollie, and it's been a tough month for him. But yeah, manager's decision. Let's hope Daniel Mallon's got shooting boots on there.
What do you think about Morgan Rogers? He looks like a player that's lacking confidence. So he's been given the nod again tonight.
He was so good at times last season. He was truly outstanding. I think the most crucial player in the Villa team. He made the difference so often. And his ability to carry the ball from the edge of his own 18-yard box right away at the other end of the field gets everybody on the edge of their seat. So now all of a sudden he's a marked man for sure. He's got people paying him a lot more respect and close attention. Now he's got to find ways to deal with that. Can't keep shrugging your shoulders, looking to the floor, and maybe feeling a little sorry for yourself. It's time now to show everybody that it's not been a great start for him personally, but he can pick it up. I'm sure he will. I'm convinced that he will. This might be just the sort of night. If he can get on the score sheet, if he can get some of those runs going, he'll be back firing at his best.
Yeah, that's why, you know, he got this, you know, younger player of the season last season for a reason. He was absolutely top class, especially in the big games as well. Like Andy said, you know, carrying the ball, just knocking players around him, you know, so good. Very, very useful, you know, for the team, especially, you know, when you play against the top teams, and he's just, you know, the standout in both teams, you know. So he was very good. Yeah, sometimes, you know, as a player, we all know you got like a slow start, but the manager giving him the chance after chance, just build this confidence, you know. So it's a good chance for him tonight, you know, against Bologna as well, to just show what he got for the team.
Yeah, when you look at someone like Jadon Sancho on the bench as well, it just shows the quality on this Villa bench, doesn't it, Alan?
I've had arguments with a couple of people talking about, I thought the boys he brought in were really good. Even Victor Lindelof, for me, I think is a wonderful signing for us. I know he's maybe, could call him a backup centre-back. I mean, he brought him on and played him in the middle of the park against Everton for the last 20, 15 minutes, to be fair. So there's players in different positions that the manager thinks can do a job for him. But I still think the players that were brought in are going to eventually come good. And again, not so much Harvey, but I think for Jadon, I think it's an opportunity for him to show, right, okay, I'm not wanted here, I'm not wanted there, I've got an opportunity, and I've got a European competition to play in for one of the biggest clubs in England. So there's certainly goals for lots of football players, and it's all for them here. It's right in front of them tonight. That's why I'm saying I know we're not playing, but I tell you what, I would love to be playing here tonight. Seriously. With Bologna coming, we beat Bologna last season. They've had a decent season to start the season. They're only in the middle of the pack. They've lost 2 games away from home. I'm thinking we start quick tonight, we can absolutely win the game.
How much do Villa need a leader right now, and how important could Ezri Konsa be? I know Jonathan's captain, but
you need a voice. I think it's important. It is important. But it's about making sure, Michelle, you do your own job. Making sure when you have spells in football when it's not going as according to plan, it's about you make sure you get your own game right.
When you were the captain, then did you make sure? Were you on somebody's? Were you on at people then?
Well, yeah, I was. But there's plenty of times when I wasn't playing particularly well. It can be quite difficult as a captain when you know, people assume and expect that you're going to get out there. Well, I had plenty of times here when it wasn't happening for me, but you've got to keep going, and you've got to encourage others, and you've got to feed others, and you've got to push them and pull others about, and make sure that you know, I like the likes of Ezri Konsa, John McGinn. I like those guys. They're always out there. They're always playing. They're playing every week.
Yeah.
And I think you have to be that sort of player if you want to be a skipper of a club. You've got to try and get out there as often as you can. You've got to be someone that people know that you'll be there.
He was very honest in his press conference yesterday, Ezri. You know, he was talking about, yes, the manager said, you know, some players being lazy, and then he accepted that, and he just said, we have to go out and then prove everyone wrong, you know. So it's just a responsibility of the players now. And like he got a good point yesterday as well. He said last season we got like 8 games without winning games. So he just says confidence coming back. You know, you have to go out and just win this game to get this confidence back. So it happened in football. You know, you just having a period of time, you're not winning any games. You know, not coming for you. It's not going well for you. Just go out and, as a leader, as a senior player as well, you just show responsibility and just have an action outside there. You know, and just make sure you get the win and make everyone happy, the supporters and everyone here.
And things can turn so quickly.
Yeah.
Once you get a win, things can all of a sudden start. Exactly.
And that's good as well. And you know, you go 2 games at home. You know, in a very short time. You know, which is, you know, can rebuild that confidence as well.
Yeah. Predictions then, Alan. What are you thinking?
I'd love us to keep a clean sheet for starters. So I'm going to go 2-0, but it would be more important for me for us to nick it 1-0 in the 96th minute. And it comes off somebody's bottom and we win the game. I'd be quite happy with that. But I'm going to go down we don't concede tonight, which means we'll win the game, and we'll win the game 2-0.
I think we'll win the game. I'm more inclined to think it might be a little tighter. I'll say 2-1.
I'm going actually 3-0 for us tonight. I think it's gonna one of those nights. You know, it's been unlucky since the start of the season for us. So hopefully some luck for us tonight, especially, you know, European nights at Villa Park with the fans as well, the atmosphere here. I think it might just get the players going. You know, this first goal in the first 10-15 minutes will open everything for the players.
Yeah, well, we know how important the fans can be tonight, and they are sure to play their part.
To the second city of Birmingham.
This is unmistakably Villa Park.
McGinn, magnificent John McGinn. The whole 10 go absolutely crazy. Collymore, yes! Oh, what a goal! Martin Larsson, yes! And the roof lives off on Villa Park. Here's John Duran, takes the shot, Duran! Oh, brilliant! Oh, my word!
This is going to be a special evening. Always is European nights, Alan. Yep. If you're John McGinn, we're talking about what Andy used to say in the change room, but if you're John McGinn this evening, I know you're talking about getting your game right, but there's some players that haven't played so much in Europe, so what's your message to them?
I think well, I know John pretty well, but I think he'll go round everybody. I think he'll have a word with every single starting player, including the goalkeeper, and just remind them about how big the game is. And about the opposition we have. They've gone through set pieces for and against. They've gone through pattern of play. We've gone through exactly how we want to play. Remind them about their job, and just remember for them to keep the energy levels up and keep the crowd on our side. Because like I've said before, and we've all spoken about it, nights like this, there's every now and again when there's a lull in the game where something will happen, we'll get a throw and then there'll be a noise and you're back again. So that's exactly what you'll be talking about.
Absolutely. Okay, well, lots coming up this evening then for you. You can follow the action tonight as Mark Regan and Ian Taylor talk you through from kickoff 7:45. Tomorrow night you can watch Villa's under-21s as they travel to take on Nottingham Forest. Villa members can watch that live on Villa TV. And then Sunday, we're back here at Villa Park as Fulham are the visitors. You can tune into Matchday Live on Villa TV and across Villa's social platforms. Guys, thank you so much for your company. Elmo, Andy, Alan, all feeling very positive. So we're going to take that positivity, fingers crossed, and join us for commentary from 7:45.